Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Adjusting the Lens, Forced Opportunities, a YouTube series that focuses on individuals who are living their lives to the fullest in spite of having disabilities and doing that very well. My name is Karen Kowalski, and I'm an occupational therapist and will be your guide on this journey. The YouTube series today focuses on Justin.
When my children play the music, it takes my breath away. It's like heaven sent. My son, Justin, when he was about 3 years old, he was diagnosed with autism. He didn't speak, he was mute. Serena, she was 2 years old and she was diagnosed with autism.
At Rutgers, my job and my profession as an occupational therapist, I really see the whole person and I see what they're passionate at. I started teaching Justin and Serena when they were about, I believe, 7 or 8. It's just amazing to me, where they have come from and where they're going and where they continue to go.
With both my kids, I've tried a multitude of therapies, pretty much any and everything that's been out there. Piano has been different from all the other therapies that I've tried. It's because I've seen my children mature and grow. They're much more open, much more focused.
Being able to look at music and be able to interpret where the keys are on the piano, understanding where the notes are, the visual motor coordination. I've worked with individuals with muscular dystrophy, Down syndrome, autism spectrum disorder. I find that, a lot of times with my students, individuals won't have the words to what they're saying, and this is their voice.
Well, I love how music is comforting because there are some points in the piece that are happy, and that's when I smile.
I love my children desperately, and music has been a doorway for me to communicate with my children because their voice is their music.
What I want people to know about me is that they may not think I'm like everybody else or smart or cheerful or upbeat, but I am.
I just really love music, especially the piano, since piano brought my children back to me.
So Justin, I have had the pleasure of knowing you since you were 8 years old in a musical capacity. And I'm very excited today to learn about your interest in music and your musical journey since that time. I'm also very happy today to have you here because you are our composer for the Adjusting the Lens Forced Opportunities intro and outro music. So focusing on you today, I think is a wonderful thing for people to learn about more about the composer who wrote the music for this. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. So Justin, tell me a little bit about your journey into music. What made you want to learn music? How did it start?
Of course, it all got started when I was basically 9 years old. I basically started playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the piano, the toy piano that I had, and basically my parents discovered that I had musical ability, and then they found you and recommended you be a piano teacher, and I started with lessons probably months later, and I believe I also had other musical abilities like playing the violin and guitar, and that will be years later. Mm-hmm. And I found it to be interesting. So, I have a big ear of music. I love to tune my violin because I was in orchestra during my school year. And I believe that from that years forward, I started composing a lot of music. I got into it. So music's everything that I do.
It's your whole being. And I know that in speaking with your mom, even when you were really, really little, you just had this innate ability to play music and enjoy and appreciate music. So I think it was, even younger that, you already had that foundation of music. What do you enjoy most about being a musician?
Playing all types of music. I play like pop, jazz, classical, gospel, and I don't think any genre discriminates, because I think if I hear music, it's just I play it. And I think everybody else who hears music, regardless of whatever capacity, whether it's a fun event like a wedding or all church event, I think everybody enjoys my playing.
So it's not only that you're enjoying performing, but you enjoy, receiving that, seeing people enjoy what you're providing, the service you're providing too. So you piano, violin, organ too, correct?
Yes, I do know organ.
Right. So what other in guitar?
Yeah.
Anything else I'm missing there as far as your instruments?
Oh, I did get some harp lessons, I think.
Mm-hmm. Now you talk about your ear for music. Tell me a little bit more about that, because having an ear for music or perfect pitch that's not innate in a lot of people. So I'm just curious, how do you kind of wrap your head around music, given that you have, that ear for music? What does that mean to you? What is an ear for music is what I'm saying.
If I hear a song off the radio or record I know how to play easily, I can recognize a chord progressions.
So you essentially don't need to look at music. You can hear it.
Yes, correct.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And you've always had that.
Yes.
It's not something that you learned or, were taught or anything. It was just that you were born with that ability. So how does that then work when you are learning music? And I'm personally very interested in learning how to memorize music. So, for example, take me right from the beginning where you want to learn a piece of music. What do you do?
When I memorize music, I break it up into sections. So I basically memorize like either the first section of the piece, then the middle of the piece, and the end of the piece, and then I work backwards. Then I put the pieces together, and then finally I play through the piece many times until I'm comfortable to play it.
When you're learning a piece of music, do you listen to it, right? The recording of it, because your ear is so astute. Do you also look at the music too, or do you just rely only on ear? How does that work?
I actually play with music and by ear.
Mm-hmm.
So I do both things.
Mm-hmm. Tell a little bit about your composing ability. So I know that that's another area that you're very interested in, is not just learning and performing music, but also creating music.
For composition, I whatever idea that comes to my mind, I basically write it down on a sheet music or stack paper, and then I find other ideas and I try to put all the compositional puzzles together into a piece, and then I try to add or delete anything, add things I like or delete things I don't like, and then I basically write the final product, and then it's done.
Mm-hmm. What are some examples of some compositions you've done?
Oh, I composed one song called "My Love Is Never Forgotten." Mm-hmm. That was many years ago, and then I did other compositions though I recently had a piano composition called Stormy Seas, basically a piece that has a variety. So I also don't want to just compose for a solo piano. I do want to compose for basically a band or a vocal ensemble.
And how are you going to start doing that, compose for a band or ensemble?
What I want to do is basically expand on my compositional ability by, I just want to also try to learn other instruments as possible. I just want to actually base all the harmonies, well, and then write each individual part together, and then I usually use Sibelius to compose my compositions. Once I'm done, I'm basically play everything through Sibelius and see if I like it, and then I'm finished with it.
So Sibelius is the software that you use to help create the music. Very much looking forward to seeing your progression with composing more orchestral pieces. It's fascinating. How do you hear in your mind the melodies and then you write it out? How does that work?
What I do is basically I hear the melodies and try to record it, and then make sure it's written down on staff paper. And I think I try to see if it's appropriate to be in a song or piece, and then hopefully it will work with where I'm composing.
Oh, that makes good sense. Thinking about practicing and rituals of practicing, what's your routine? How much do you practice? Do you practice at like your instrument, and then do you do some theory work in your composition? Like what's your normal routine?
I start with scales and arpeggios, and then I do some chord theory. Then I work on the repertoire I want to, and try to basically, I practice the piece I really need work on, and then any piece that has less work on, I prioritize it least. Finally, I try to basically spend no more than 3 hours and try to take breaks because I need it. And that's what I do with practice.
That's perfect. Yeah, and I love the fact that you take breaks so that you can kind of get, kind of pull your mind back together, and maybe, practice one piece or one section, and then, celebrate your success, and then, take a break, and then do another section so that you can, kind of get those goals done. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received in your musical career? And I know you graduated from Westminster Choir College, and you've also studied jazz music, so you have a huge genre of music behind you. But I'm just wondering, what advice has really kind of meant a lot to you as you pursue your musical career?
To appreciate the people that you work with today, because you don't know how long they're going to be around to work with you. And I think, as a musician, I think you just need to be patient, because your success won't happen overnight. It'll just take some time.
And that's really also very good advice for younger people who are looking to get into more music industry. And where do you see yourself in the next 10 years musically? Like, where is I know that you said that you want to do more orchestration and composition with that, but and I know that you're very involved in and have a passion for teaching music too, and very good at it. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
In 10 years, I basically, hopefully, will open a music studio where I can hopefully have musicians go and record and basically make make a network of musicians that I can just regularly perform with or record with, and just expand my network.
It's very exciting for me personally to be along on your journey as a musician and to see you, grow and change and continue to have such an amazing passion for music, and to be able to give back to the community too, through your music. So thank you so much for everything today, and providing us and the world with information about your music and your future endeavors. So Justin, thank you so much for being here today on Adjusting the Lens: Forced Opportunities. Again, really featuring people who are doing amazing works throughout the world and helping to put good into the world. And certainly, Justin, you are one of those people. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My name is Justin Brown, and I'm 11 years old. I've been playing piano since 2 years. My first piece that I'm going to be playing is Liebestraum.